Hi everyone, delonewolf here and welcome back to some EVE Online. Welcome back also to Solitude, because I had to come over here, as you can see, to pick up my goods from my planets. And today's video is actually going to be my first impressions on the Hyperion release. And man, look at the sun here in Nibale. The vertical ones, definitely my favorite types of sun. They look just so beautiful. But someone also requested that I make a video about PI, and so I'm going to touch on the subject. Now I'm not going to go into details about all of this. I'm just going to explain maybe my philosophy behind PI, and I gotta be honest, my PI is the lazy man's PI. Still, as you can see right here, 55 million in goods. Maybe keep in mind around 20% average tax rate from the customs offices, but it's still making me money for almost no effort whatsoever. So I've got 6 planets going here: barren, plasma, plasma, lava, gas and gas. And once every 24 hours I start my extractors. That's really all I do. So that's one way. This is a lazy man's PI. What else is needed for maintaining this? Maybe jump cloning once a month to Solitude to pick up the goods when they're like 75% full or something like that. But that's really all it takes for me to do this PI. Another aspect of why I think this is actually a lazy man's PI is because I'm not looking to push my profits in any way. All of my planets produce materials that are used in the manufacturing of post-fuels. So mechanical parts enrich uranium, coolants, consumer electronics, oxygen, and one planet can also create, let me see if I can find it here in the item hanger. Where is my PI stuff? Right here, robotics as well, by switching the extractors a little bit. Why is this the lazy man's PI? Because post-fuels, there will always be demand for that. It's very constant, but you're of course not picking out the right materials and goods to produce from your planets that might yield you a bit more profit or have lower tax rates because of the types of planets. There's a lot of different aspects where you could get more out of PI than what I'm doing. But the big advantage I'm finding right here is that all it takes is log in once every 24 hours, do your extractors. After that, once every month, pick up your goods, and there you go. You've got your PI going, and you will always find a market for all of this PI stuff because it's used to produce post-fuels for which there is a very constant demand. So yeah, that's it about my PI. Honestly, it's set up in a very easy way, so that I have to do very little effort in order to get stuff out of my planet. So let's talk about Hyperion here as well, of course, just been deployed. And let's start maybe with the patching itself. Once again, it has been flawless for me, no problem whatsoever. The download was a little bit slow, maybe because it was early after downtime, and so the server might not have been able to cope with the load that well, but the patching after that went pretty smoothly. I logged in the game and I immediately did a roundabout of exploration back at my main base in Iona. I'd say 15 systems or something like that, and all of that went without any problem, hiccups or bugs. I was a little bit surprised by the low number of signatures. So maybe one worry that I did have a little bit was, might there be something wrong with the respawn rates of stuff? Because I had like, I think 4 systems early on where there were no signatures whatsoever. But I think it was just the RNG gods that were against me when I was doing this exploration, because I actually did find data sites, relic sites, and a few combat sites, not the good ones. And over here in Solitude, as you can see, 2, 4, 6, 7 signatures available in Postuvin. One jump from Nibale. Postuvin and Nibale have always treated me pretty well when it comes to exploration. And so yeah, let's maybe quickly see what kind of signatures there are over here. So one thing that I've been missing is those good combat sites, 3 out of 4s, 3 out of 10s, or 4 out of 10, some fire outposts or narcotics warehouse where the good money can be. So let's just do a quick look here, but all of this is looking pretty good. The deployment has been successful, and CCP has been able to do this for quite a while actually. It's been a long time since we've had extended downtimes or even days without being able to log in after a release. That seems to be a thing of the past, so I'm less worried about having to maintain a big skill in my skill queue when CCP says they're gonna release something, because I think that's a relic site, not really that interesting. Because since the launcher has stabilized, at first I had a few problems with it, but with the new EVE launcher now it seems like CCP can really handle releases quite a lot better and find problems I think a little bit more quickly and efficiently. So on that end, no problems so far. Let me maybe, while we're doing this, I'm going to try and combine it, show you where you can find the patch notes. So just go for the browser, go to the headline news, Hyperion has released, and right here you'll find a link to the patch notes. You can go through these yourself if you want. There are no big surprises here. Some more functionality for the plexus, where you can use it on characters on different accounts and stuff like that. There are of course the new burner missions, which we'll see how I get to cover those, because they are extremely hard, and one thing I would like to see is well, how many kills those burners are racking up at the moment, because honestly I think a lot of people are going to be surprised by these missions. And then of course it's a big chunk about wormholes, the wormhole effect tree balance, a second static for C4s, more randomly spawning wormholes, the mass base new types of wormholes specifically for frigates, and then the let me see here, K162 appearing on first jump. But the one that is new and that I think has not been shown before, but I think is very helpful, is that the 6-digit scan ID for cosmic signatures and anomalies will now be consistent across server downtime. I think this is very good news for wormhole residents. So what would happen? Let's say this is actually your wormhole over here. You have to scan all of these signatures. They all have a name. Here, for instance, I'm scanning QUG688. If you would scan all of them, and this is actually a data site, so that's pretty good. I'll take it. If you were scanning all of these, but then downtime would run, all of them would get a randomly different name. And so in order to find your static, or maybe find your data site, or whatever it is that you had available before downtime in your wormhole, you would have to rescan basically everything, unless you had bookmarks and all of that. With this, you will still know that, well, the QUG was your data site. It's going to remain that even after downtime, so that's pretty good. And I think very welcome for wormhole residents. Just gonna cut down on some of the maintenance scanning that you have to do when you actually do live in a wormhole. Anyways, this should get me this data site, so let's check it out just to finish off the video, because I don't have that much more to report. Hyperion has been a wormhole based release, so for us high-sec guys, the impacts are minimal. Go through the patch notes if you want to see all of the changes. There are a lot of bug fixes there as well. There is even some graphical updated stuff, some market information tabs that have changed a little bit as well, and all of that good stuff. But I actually don't think most people are that interested. If you're that interested, I'm pretty sure you'll go and check out the patch notes yourself. And here we go, 4 containers. So let's do a quick burst of the micro warp drive here. Let's see what they're actually holding, and let's actually approach one as well. So incognito symmetry, that's the worst I can find in here. Another one. What's this one? That's nothing special either, but okay. And then the final one, oh, that's a nice one. Look at that symmetry and the process. That's going to be quite okay. So let's quickly do these hacking sites here. Grab it, come on. There we go. That's nice. That's the symmetry done. I'm actually going to start off with this one. Don't want to get like an Imicus grabbing this loot, because it is by far the most valuable one, so this should be okay. I've not gotten into the habit of, whoa, that one was loading slowly, of orbiting at 500. Not sure why it is handy, and nice 4 million, look at that. but I've just learned the timings with the micro warp drive on the Ishtar, so I know that once I break 10 kilometers, I press the brakes on my ship, and then I'll just coast nicely into 2500 meters, and then I can focus on the hacking itself. So there we go. Well, these are hacking mini games with a lot of nodes. So this was indeed one that was a little bit harder to scan down, and well, I'll take it. It's just a few 100,000 ISK, and then the final one over there, just to close off with this data site. But as you can see, data sites even in HiSec, in my opinion, are definitely worth it, because this is just one data site, and I'm netting 5 million ISK from this loot. And what the hell, this one is done. Oh, of course, I decided to go for the juicy one first, so we'll have to head for this info shard over there that's still turning. So let's go. And they've really been treating me well, and so my current philosophy when I am out exploring is to focus only on the data sites and on the useful combat sites like the narcotics warehouse and like the fire outpost. And if I don't find anything else, only then do I move to maybe like a relic site and like an asteroid, rogue drone infested asteroid that has a very small chance of dropping some faction loot, but that's been the most efficient way for me personally. Pressing loot all here. Responsiveness maybe down just a touch, but overall everything seems to be working quite nicely. Let's head for planet 1, and then I'll continue my scanning. But yeah, that's it guys. First impressions of Hyperion. Everything is still working smoothly, which I think is good news. It's also a smaller release. I would say it's definitely the peak of the summer, but now it's all the information that's gonna come about the other releases in September. CCP should be back at full force. They should be able to get nice development times into their projects, and so I think we're up for some juicy stuff in the upcoming dev blogs, posts, CC stuff and all of that, because yeah, the summer releases, we've had them here, at least they've been deployed successfully, and let's hope that CCP can scale things up a little bit with the upcoming ones. That's it for this video then guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.